I'm Cassandra and I work with ThedaCare. I'm also a busy mom of 3.
Camden, no thanks. Hey.
Doing it all is more challenging than ever, and that includes making healthcare decisions. So, welcome to Health Inspired Talk, where we cut through the confusion, we chat with experts, and we help you get the care you need for you and your family. If you've watched Health Inspired Talk, you're probably familiar with the topics we cover. Today, we're digging a little deeper. If there's one thing we've all learned over the last 3 years, it's this. Getting and staying healthy is not as simple as it sounds. Healthy is hard. In fact, it's become a complicated mystery. The not todays quickly pile up, and healthy might feel out of reach for everyday life. We quickly fool ourselves into believing the narrative, I can't find the time. Maybe we have kids in multiple sports. I can't get motivated. I'm exhausted after doing what the day requires. I can't find the answers. I don't even know where to begin. I can't do enough to make a difference. I'm healthy enough. So what happens to us if we all believe the narrative, I can't? To begin to unpack that question, we're going to start with looking at how we got here in the first place. Joining us first is Dale Gisi, a leader here at ThedaCare. Dale, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Cass.
In your role, you see the connection between overall health and well-being, both from the individual level and the community level. So really, let's think about what it means to be unhealthy from that community level. What happens and what do we experience?
Well, unfortunately, Cass, for unhealthy communities just have a bleak future. We see the depression that's created by unhealthy communities. It creates complex problems for our societies to deal with, making us all more vulnerable, and really impacts the quality of life that we have, and even the economic prosperity that we have within our communities by making people less productive, less engaged in the workforce, and then our community resources are spent on health and wellness activities rather than on economic development activities. And then, the part that we often forget about is it's not just the physical health of people, but it's also the mental health. And again, that just carries over and carries over.
And they all seem to have a connection.
They absolutely have a connection. And when you see, you can see that very clearly in the roles that we play.
Mm-hmm. So on the flip side, what does it mean when we have a healthy community? What does that look like for us?
Yeah, just very simply, I think the best word is around prosperity. Healthier communities are more prosperous, and they're more prosperous because we're engaged in other activities. When we impact the chronic disease and we lessen the illness rates, we lessen mortality rates, we create environments where people thrive and communities thrive.
Thanks so much for being with us, Dale. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Let's take a closer look at what healthier means. That begins with examining where we are now. Joining us to discuss that topic, Paula Morgen, Director of Community Health Improvement for ThedaCare. Paula, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, this conversation starts with establishing some of those deeper understandings of health status in our communities. So can you tell us about that process?
It starts with community health needs assessment. And I'm not sure many people know this, but all nonprofit hospitals across the country are required to do a community health needs assessment every 3 years. And the intent is just to understand what the needs are in our community so we know what to focus on.
So it seems really simple that we're doing this, but this is such a complex topic and lots of different things that are going into these community needs assessments, right?
Definitely. And it all starts with our mission. And I think most people know that our mission used to be focused on just health, improving the health of our communities that we serve. But we've, in recent years, added the notion of well-being, the concept of well-being. And people generally understand what health means. You can look at BMI scores or incidence of heart disease and those sort of measures and understand health. But well-being is a little bit more nebulous. And well-being is really about your self-perception. Am I living my best possible life? What we found was that about 53% of our region across the ThedaCare service area is thriving. So they feel they're living their best possible life. And maybe the more important piece of that is that they're hopeful. They're hopeful about the future, not just about today. So that's about 53%. Mm-hmm. On the other end of the spectrum is 5%. 5% say they are not living anywhere close to their best possible life today, and they're not hopeful about the future. And then everybody else is in that space that we call struggling. They're having a little bit of a hard time in trying to make it today. The bottom line of all that is that about 50% then, about 50% of the people that we serve are in that space of either struggling or suffering.
Those are really sobering numbers for us. What are the things that you're noticing are the top health needs and priorities?
There's really 4 things that we're going to be focusing on over the next 3 years. So this plan is 2023 through 2025. One of those priorities is structural, meaning that we're really looking at the systems in our community that are addressing it. So what we're focusing on is alignment, so that we pick priorities and we develop processes where the other health systems in the area and public health departments and nonprofits and the federally qualified health centers in our region, that we all go through that process together and we pick common priorities and work on some strategies together. And we'll have so much greater opportunity to have impact if we can do that. So that's a little bit more of a structural opportunity. And then there's 3 issues that we are going to be focusing most of our energy on. Certainly mental and behavioral health, absolutely top of everybody's list, especially coming out of the pandemic. So that clearly is a top priority area. Early childhood, just understanding that if we can take care of the youngest and get them off to a good start from a health perspective, then we have, hopefully will prevent many other challenges downstream. And the third area then is social needs, transportation, housing, food insecurity, those sort of things, getting those needs addressed for our patients.
Wonderful, Paula. Thank you so much for your insight into where we are right now and then maybe what the future holds.
You bet. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
At ThedaCare, we believe that Northeast and Central Wisconsin deserve a health system that supports health beyond what systems traditionally do. That's why we're looking beyond ourselves to lead a movement that we call Life Inspired. It encourages collective responsibility to create a healthier future for all. It's personal for us. It's our community to protect. Team members, doctors, nurses, who all work and live right here. Organizations throughout our communities are already doing incredible work, and there's more help to provide and barriers to break down.
The fact that people are in our community unable to really think about their next meal and where it's going to come from. It's heavy to really think about that.
Food is one of the vital conditions to health. If people don't have adequate access to healthy food, it's going to impact their health, not in a good way.
Not just the nutritional value of food, but the anxiety and the mental health issues that might come from that insecurity. So it's really important that people know that they've got resources, they can feed themselves, they can feed their families, and they can continue to heal and grow.
I grew up without having a lot of excess, but we always had food to eat, and I just can't imagine it.
Helping others to not suffer is inspiring for me.
So when I think about Life Inspired, to me it's about putting patients and families first and knowing that what we do makes a difference.
As part of the movement, we'll be offering opportunities to get involved as a volunteer or by attending an event like this. We'll be looking for advocates who share the passion, and we'll be empowering people with health and well-being tools and resources available to everyone. Most importantly, we want to flip that I can't narrative and support the possibility that lies within all of us. Turning I can't into I can starts with each one of us. We wanted to check in with one of our physicians who works directly with our community members every single day, Dr. Zachary Baeseman, a family medicine physician in Wild Rose in Wapaka. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Cass.
So as we are introducing our Life Inspired movement, we want people to know that taking care of their individual health has a chain reaction. How do you see that playing out?
I see it playing out every day. I mean, we all have a part to play in life-inspired, both delivering healthcare, but also for the individuals in our community. They all have a big part to play in their own individual health journey. And sometimes making really small commitments, something that's 5 or 10 minutes every single day, can really have compound interest over time as people look at their health on the horizon. Instead of having short-term goals of, I want this change and I want to see these results, what can you commit to every day to life-inspired achieving your health goals?
So those individual actions, how do they have a collective community change?
In the community, people's behaviors are a bit contagious. If you live in a community that's very active, you see people out walking, biking, exercising, it becomes something that's part of the culture. And I think that's where Life Inspired is also really a critical part of this whole journey. It's individuals achieving Life Inspired, but also communities.
What's your hope for the future as we're talking about Life Inspired and these changes that can help us collectively as a community? What is your, dream future?
My dream future is that communities and the environments that we live in become healthier places. It's hard in the United States of America to be healthy because we have so many calorie-dense and nutrient-poor foods. And we have communities that are built really not on physical activity. We drive everywhere all the time. So ideal state, we have communities that are designed to help promote health, and we have individuals that are on a journey of Life Inspired, achieving their own health.
Thanks so much for being with us, Dr. Baeseman.
My pleasure.
Now, you are a critical part of our Life Inspired movement. We hope you'll join us. Visit ThedaCare.org/LifeInspire to learn more and join the movement. At ThedaCare, our mission is to help you live your unique best life. And we want to know what kind of questions you have when it comes to your health care. Leave your questions and comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe so you see the very latest in this series.